Hi, it's Roger here with episode 17 of Entrepreneur TV. And in this episode, we're going to talk about how to attract more customers. And I'm starting behind the scenes. I am in Johannesburg right now, where we have our event going on here. This is behind the scenes, like whereas everyone, as you can see, is like through there. We're going to go through there in a moment. We are kind of like backstage at the moment. This is some of our team that's been going around with us here. Here's Kim. Hey, Kim.
Hi.
Here's Sandra. Hey, Sandra. Here's the whole team. Hi, guys. And we're going to be talking about how do you attract customers. In the last episode, when we talked about how do you actually make more sales, and I was talking about the biggest difference between people who are trying to get people to buy what you're trying to sell, which is the difficult way, or secondly, how to make sure that you are selling what people want to buy. So the question is like, who are these people? And you've probably gone on some kind of programs or spoken to people who have shared around avatars, you know, like really getting into the mind of who your customer is. Well, I want to show you this. Who's the customers who are coming for this event here? We've got about 800 people through there. And I want to share this, see if you can see this. General, certain type of person who's here who did not pay anything at all for their ticket, right? So I'm going to kind of throw this down here. I hope they don't mind if I do this. Second type of person, VIP. This person paid some money to be here, and they're kind of getting some extra special bonuses. They're getting seats up the front. So I'm going to put that down here, and then I'm going to take a third one, which is Platinum. And Platinum, which I'll put here, is the people who get to have a session with me, and they get to have some lunch and all that kind of stuff as well. And here's the interesting thing. It isn't like someone who's at one level just decides to go to another level. You decide straight away if you're going to be at one of these levels, right? So here we have, I'm really kind of going high tech here, as you can see. Here we have a triangle. And if you have heard me in one of my other videos talk about Pythagoras, the video is right here, I talk about how he says that if you establish the triangle, the problem is 2/3 solved. That we all, if we look at the top businesses in the world, can see that they don't have one perfect customer, they've got 3 perfect customers. And in this session, we're going to see that you attracting your customer, and even how you start your business, has everything to do with this principle of 3s. If you go on a plane, you'll have first class, business class, economy class. And it isn't about bringing someone in economy hoping they'll go to first. The people who want first go straight there, and they want a different level of service. They're willing to pay a different level of money. If you take something like a bank, you have retail banking, commercial banking, private banking, same thing. You've got different people going through different doorways, and as a result of that, you can triple the attraction that you have with your customers, plus transform your cash flow. Okay, I'm going to be a bit quieter because I'm now in the room. We're going to kind of just zip through here. So up on stage at the moment is Brian Walsh, right? He's the guy who runs entrepreneur.co.za. He's just kind of like telling his story before he introduces me. So I probably shouldn't be doing a video now. I should be kind of doing other stuff, but I wanted to just do this, give you a bit of a sense of what goes on here.
Honestly, we're scared. What if I've got it wrong? You know, what if there's some sort of...
You can see all of our 9 different levels, the spectrum up the front.
But it is actually, you know, for 20 years in business of struggling the arse off and suddenly it works.
All right, now we'll come outside.
So the real question that came to me in that period...
And where I'm going to take you is to a little spot, my little office here, where, as I have said in other videos, create your different spaces. So I've created a space here, which is my wood space. I'm going to take you to it. And even though it's in the conference center, it's okay, it's a little bit to the side. Where I'm going to share with you what we did to segment our customers. So we have 3 different levels of customer within Entrepreneurs Institute. And when you see how we did this, you'll see that even how you get your business started, how you make sure you're making the cash flow, has everything to do with this as well, right? This is all about getting 3 gears, or for example, if you're in a motorway, having 3 lanes so you don't end up in a jam, getting stuck with no cash flow. This is my little office space, as you can see. Hope you like it. And we'll just kind of like step inside. So follow me. Well, I don't have much choice actually, because it's the video that's really following me, but here we go. Right, so what I have here is I have the way that we design our product range. And what's important about this is the way we design our products are really focusing at entrepreneurs. But entrepreneurs at 3 different levels. So we think, okay, what's economy class? what is business class, what is first class? What does each of those customers really want? How can we serve them at the best value? What's the best pricing for each of them as well? Because often you'll find that the people that you really want to work with the most, well, they have a different price point from others who may actually want your product the most. Okay, so here is my journal. I know I've shared this in one of my other videos, and if you missed that, here's the link to that video. Within this, I have all my kind of journal notes, as you can see, and I spend quite a bit of time on each page. And this one here, which I'm sharing, this one here, this is a bit of a brainstorm that we had on our product range for this year, right? So I just want to explain it through to you so you kind of get an idea of how it works. First of all, you'll see here that we have got a person here called Foundation Fred. Foundation Fred is someone who's in a job trying to get started, little disposable income, so we don't want to be charging Fred a lot of money. In fact, we want to give Fred stuff for free. Someone who's at infrared red level saying, well, how do I just get started? So you see here that there's actually a series of different things where they might not even be interested in starting a business yet. They just really want to have a better quality of life. And you'll see that there's actually 5 levels that we've set, which are free, and then entry level, which is very low cost, and then we've got low, mid, and high. Now, you don't have to be as complicated as this, as I'm going to share in a moment, but just for you to kind of understand what we designed and how that's allowed us to become a multi-million-dollar global business has everything to do, not with what we're doing at the big picture scale, but everything we're doing at the small size scale, at the quality of delivery for every one of our clients, customers, and members. So we have, for example, for Foundation Fred, a team that just focuses at that group. That's our online team. That's the Genius test we provide in there for free, the Genius guides, which are entry level. Then we'll have things like the missions, my book, the Millionaire Master Plan, and then the Millionaire Master Plan missions are basically all the things that kind of lead from free to something which might cost $27 or $30. That's pretty much it. So we don't want anyone who's at that level to be buying things from us, which is going to stretch them or which is before their time. We have a second type of customer, our Enterprise Ella. That might be you. Enterprise Ella is in a startup, somewhere between $100,000 to $500,000 in revenues, yellow level, needs to get a team together, has a budget for learning, but it's a limited budget because a lot of the money and time and effort is going into the building of the business. So here we're going from online content to now experiences. And what you're going to find is that while people are paying less and less for content, people are happy to pay more and more for experiences, provided they're good experiences. So here's where we actually have our YouTube channel, which is what you're watching right now, where we said, let's just provide it for free for people who are actually already starting their business. Then they can go and take the Wealth Dynamics test or come along for one of our Fast Forward events, an event like this. They can come to iLab, which is our resort incubators that we run, or join my mentoring, the Enterprise Circle, which is by invitation, if we start seeing people show up a few times. So again, at no point are we actually stretching someone, or do I want to stretch someone who's at the wrong stage or at the wrong budget. It's got to be something which is ideal for whoever you're looking for to solve whatever problem they've got right now at a budget and at a pocket that's going to work for them. And then we then have Emerald Ian, which is at the top level, and that's the companies that are anywhere from $1 million to $50 million in size, where they're likely to build their training through their company. They're likely to have training for their team as well, and that's where we have our templates, which are free. We have our academy, our masters, our Emerald Circle, which is where I work together with groups of entrepreneurs, and then our Alchemy Circle and Alchemy Fund, where we have effectively an investment fund for companies that are $5-10 million inside and going up by 10 times in the next 5 years, where we're almost being like angel investors when we work together with them. Very, very different set of needs, very different team that looks after that group as well. Look, 2 examples of how powerful this is. If you think about the Wealth Dynamics Square, or you think about the Genius Square, there are 2 types of leverage, which is how you actually spread out to more customers. One of the types of leverage is called multiply, which is what you do online. It's like you can get to many, many people, make it as simple as possible, and make many. Then you have the other side, which is not the steel side, the winter side, but the blaze side, which is the summer side, which is magnify. And that's all about not making things simple and making many, but making it more complex and making it only one. So for example, we have Radka, who is based in Czech Republic, and Radka, she wanted to set up a business to support women leaders. She had this idea she was going to do it online or through reports or through research papers. When we started working together, I said, you know what, you need to just magnify, get a small group of women leaders together, you're going to host them, you're going to charge them for that privilege, where she actually set a pretty high bar in terms of the amount of money she was going to charge them. But as a result of that, by going out, just speaking to the people she knew and getting great people on board, the first couple of people she invited in, and then after that, they then told their friends, and she ended up with this boardroom club of women entrepreneurs, which frankly funded her first six months of business. Now, if she'd gone out just trying to do the online side, she would have really struggled. Another example, Anthony Chadwick, webinar vet. Right? So he basically was a vet who set up a webinar. If you go to webinarvet.com, you'll see he set up basically a site for vets to do all of their professional training, and he was making enough money to get by at a membership level where vets were paying a little bit every single month. And we started working together, and I said, hey, how could you magnify where you're going to get a lot more money a lot faster, which will help you fund yourself and build your profit? And he said, well, it won't be for those vets, not in the same way. It's like, okay, well, what is it that you could do to solve a problem for someone else that you now have got the leverage to be able to do through your platform? And he decided to set up a sponsorship program where some of the biggest providers of dog food or of vet supplies started sponsoring for a much higher amount. You know, we're talking now 30, 50,000 pounds. We're now sponsoring the channels that he put together with his content, and that allowed him to just multiply up the amount of profit he was making. He also set up an experience, which was a virtual virtual pet conference. He also set up a virtual vet conference, which is like an international exhibition online, where you had now thousands of vets who wanted to connect up with the very, very best information and systems from around the world. And he actually did that. He does that now every single year, but that was something which brought in exhibitors, sponsors, and also vets who wanted to actually have that experience in addition to being a member. And that allowed him again to have a really big bump up in not just the money he was making, but the people he was attracting in as well. The fundamental key to all of this is to know that for you to get really clear on who your customer is, because we're talking still about the second segment, which is master your market, that it's not about just having one customer base, it's about having three. And just like you're seeing here, what I would do is make sure I'm spending all my time in something called prime time. And you can see prime time is where I can say, am I putting my time into something which is solving a problem, which is creating a benefit, and which is feeling good right now. Solving a problem is something that exists from the past. Creating a benefit is something that is new for the future. Feeling good right now is actually making sure that you're living for the present. You bring those three together and you allow your customers to experience those three as well. And what happens is you get from action in the first lane, turning on the ignition, getting going, to traction. Add T and R to action, you get traction, which is now changing through the gears to attraction, which is what happens when you get to the fast lane and your destination starts getting attracted to you. You know, a lot of people, they say that. They say, it's interesting how when you get into attraction, everything just comes your way. Well, that's because you're in the fast lane of the motorway. You're in flow now, and of course everything's coming your way because you're moving towards it at the same time. So think about that for a moment. What could you do to get your customers into flow? What are the three levels that you have on your customer base? Who out there already are serving those people that you could partner with or learn from that would allow you to be able to achieve the great solutions and the great experiences that your customers want to experience from you? So with that being said, that's pretty much the end of my little section here. The final thing that I'll just say to you is, as I leave this little garden here, don't go out trying to get a net in order to go and catch the butterflies, but instead grow a garden where that garden allows you to be able to have the butterflies kind of fly your way. And if you think about it in that way, you think about your customers being attracted to you because of the garden of products that you're creating, then you're on the right track towards success in the future. In the next episode, we're going to go into how you go about creating promotions that are effective so that you can then determine, are you making the 10,000, the 100,000, the million? And I'll go through the actual steps that everyone, from someone getting started through to Richard Branson, through to Warren Buffett, use in order for them to determine what money they want to make and when they want to make it. Until the next episode, make sure you subscribe. Look forward to catching you up next week.